What's going on, world? It's your boy, Kuya. This is NRW. Nerds rule the world, back with our weekly picks. And joining me this week is my man from the Checkpoint Squad, as well as Sartorial Geek Podcasts. Just everything. You've seen him knock out some exotic coverage with me recently, and we got some more exotic coverage coming your way with the DC for 2023 joint coming soon. It's my man, Webster Style. How are you, sir?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good.
Great to see you, man. I'm thankful for you. We're coming off of a Thanksgiving weekend. We didn't do our show last week, and so I'm thankful you're joining me this week because a lot of stuff been going on in the world and personal reasons. But with it being a year, that time of thanks, I'm thankful for you, bro, and everything you've done and accomplished this year, man. And I wish you nothing but blessings the rest of this holiday season and as we head into 2024, bro.
Crazy.
Crazy. This year's gone by fast, man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? I don't know about you. It's gone by fast.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So have you accomplished everything? Or is like, man, are there anything you're trying to fit in, or you pushing it into to 2024?
You know, I'll say I've, at least from this aspect, I've done things I never would have thought I've done at the beginning, would have been doing at the beginning of the year.
And that's a good thing. So, or do you like, is it a good thing for you? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I like it. I like the shift in mentality. I like the shift in just perspective. And I can't say that I really was looking at a lot of this in certain ways a year ago or so.
Beautiful. I just love, I'm all about self-improvement, and just setting goals and everything. You and I talk, man, and you inspire me with what you're doing, man. And I hope I feed off that energy to you the same. Definitely. And if there's anything I can do to spark anything, man, please let me know. But whatever we can do to help build and make each other better, man, that's what we should always strive to do, or at least in friendships and relationships, man. Like, I love that for you, bro.
Same, man.
Awesome.
I always got your back.
Same. All right, man. Well, before we get into these week's entertainment picks, man, I don't remember how long it's been since the last time you've been out there. I want to say you've been on recently. I think you filled in maybe like a month ago to help me out.
That long, yeah.
What have you been watching recently that you recommend or seen that you're like, man, that wasn't it. That wasn't hitting. Before we get into the picks,
I finally watched Blue Beetle the other day.
Oh, okay. What'd you think?
That was good. That was really like the shining jewel that came out of all the DC EU. And I loved the fact that it was somewhat predictable, but it was okay. And George Lopez stole the movie, in my opinion.
He's hilarious.
I love the character development. I love the reveal, especially like the grandma and like her sort of darker past,
right? The grandma stuff was pretty cool. Like that deserves a film in its own right.
I love the family aspect, and I think that's something that
agreed.
You kind of got a little bit with Shazam, but it wasn't quite the same. I love that they were, and I talk about that on this week's podcast as well. My impressions of it. I love the Latino aspect of it, but I also liked that it wasn't this sort of like homogenous sort of Latino family experience. You had different generations and you had different perspectives and different backgrounds, and it wasn't just like, oh, they're Mexican, oh, they're Salvadorian, oh, they're Cuban. Like you got a little bit of what you would perceive as like Latino culture in this family, and I really loved that as well. I love it when we see different cultures explored in these sort of movies because they're a lot more palatable to the general audience or the general public compared to something that is, say, targeted toward Latino Americans or Latino people, targeted toward Blacks, targeted toward Asians. You're going to have some people that are resistant to those things for whatever reason, and to have it as heavy-handed as it was at times in this movie. And we got, I even go back to Black Panther 2, you got that as well, that Latino culture and that background and that history, more so with like Maya and Aztec sort of historical culture. But it was really refreshing, and it was a fun movie from beginning to end. And I really enjoyed that. And I think I was upset that after watching and seeing how good it was, that it came out when it did during the strike, and then after the Flash. I was like, man, you came out after the Flash. Like after the Flash, like if I wasn't just a comic head, I wouldn't want to see another DCEU movie, period, after watching that. Like that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And for this to come out like 2 months or a month and a half afterwards, and then doing the strike as well, like I felt so bad for that whole cast and crew, because that was just they put out a really good movie.
It was solid. Yeah, man. Cool. Are you much of a DC head, or like, are you aware of DC lore? I think you are, right? Like, are you familiar
I'm not
with?
as deep as Marvel. I've read DC, like with the whole and sort of spoilers, doing Blue Beetle with the whole OMAC thing. Like, oh, I love how they did this, because I just remember OMAC is that Soldiers from the Future with the mohawk and everything. And the fact that they twisted that and used that, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. So there are nods that I picked up there in the movie, but I wouldn't say I'm like versed in everything. I was telling like my wife, my this Blue Beetle, I was introduced to him because of Young Justice.
Got it.
So
I guess the question is then, are you familiar with the old Blue Beetle that they showed?
Yeah, I was familiar more so with Ted Cord than
okay.
Jaime.
So all right, well then that's my question, and I think we are out of like spoiler territory now, because it's been out, it's everywhere. So I haven't really asked this question to talk about Blue Beetle with anybody else on the podcast. I don't even think we did it in our review. So I'm hoping I can ask you here, Webs of Style, is now that you've seen it, you're familiar with the OG Blue Beetle that they showed reference to, and they allude to at the very end that, you know, him and Booster Gold might be coming through. And we now have, you know, Gunn at the helm with this new relaunch, because, you know, they're going to go back and hopefully revitalize and make things better, because the DC movies have been trash, and so they're going to going back to the well. They let this one stay because I think from what we all read, it was far enough away from the rest of the DC stuff that it could just exist on its own. So my question to you is, with them now referencing that, and we'll go back to that to give us the OG Blue Beetle and possibly Booster Gold, who would you fan cast? Have you thought about that? You know, with them throwing back to it like that?
Oh, a Ted Cord. See, that's hard, because I would say Ted Cord is iconic, but he's, you know, I just say he's like a generic white guy. There's no disrespect for that, but it's in my experience with the character, I can't say there's anything that, like, anybody that sticks out. I'm rocking my head with, like, there's so many people that could slot into that character, because you got a little bit of silliness there with the character, because I always see him as like I always seem like, I think Watchmen, Owlman from the Watchmen, and then maybe like a couple pegs down, like he's more of a grounded but comedic Owlman. Well, Owlman was, you know, kind of that Batman analog for the Watchmen. I don't know. That's hard.
Yeah, I haven't been able to either, so I kind of put you on the spot. I do kind of have Booster in mind, and it's that dude from Serenity that was also in the Marvel movie.
Oh, Alan Tudyk.
No, not Alan. Although, now that you mentioned Alan Tudyk, I think Alan Tudyk could be Blue Beetle, and my other man from Serenity / Firefly could be Booster Gold. The dude who's
Alan would definitely be an eccentric. That would work.
You know what I'm saying?
That would really work.
I could see Alan Tudyk as a Blue Beetle, and what's Nathan Fillion? That's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Nathan Fillion is Booster Gold.
He could be anybody.
Yeah, but I think he would be perfect for that comedic role and also have that build. And then Alan Tudyk would be the Blue Beetle. Yeah,
but he's playing Guy Gardner though.
Yeah, which is now in the new thing. So I think that cancels him out now. But that's who I would immediately have thought of off the cuff. But anyway, so if y'all Blue Beetle fans been waiting for us, the Blue fan cast, there you go. There's the Blue Beetle. So I'm curious, but yeah, that's kind of like what I had in mind for that. But anyway, I hadn't been able to talk about that, and so maybe now we started something. So people hit us up in the comments. But I'm happy
let us know
I saw Blue Beetle finally. Anything bad that you've seen recently outside of that? Or was everything's been good? Or
no, I haven't.
Wrestling's been wild now, but we'll talk on our wrestling show. If y'all don't know, me and Eldon have the Kayfabe Baby wrestling show.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into much. I've been honestly, man, it's been content.
Yeah,
I haven't like
you're like me. We're editing.
When I've been doing anything, I'm editing or taking care of it. I'm like, man, I hadn't just sat down and watched anything in a minute.
And everything I'm seeing, I'm
no,
screening.
You know what? No, you know what I did sit down and watch?
Okay.
And I binged it over like 2 nights while I was eating dinner.
Okay.
Power Rangers Cosmic Fury.
Bro, I haven't watched Power Rangers since
exactly. Since because I watched
it. Is that good?
I enjoyed it because they brought back Billy. Because what prompted me watch this was the special they did, once a Ranger, always a Ranger, when they brought back Billy and Zach. And that, I thought that was
heard
really
about that. Yeah.
And when I saw they were bringing Billy back, and again, I have dipped my toe in Power Rangers over the past few years, particularly because they had the 25th special. And then like I read the stuff like, oh, this person's coming back, this person's coming back. But with the 30th special, I'm like, okay. And then with Cosmic Fury, since that's been building off of like the last 2 seasons, they just kept the same cast for the last 3 seasons. And it was only 10 episodes. I'm like, okay. And they brought back Lord Zed as well. So that's also a prompt me. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it a lot. And this is one I think, and I wrote this article many years ago, and I pretty much said Power Rangers is like the Doctor Who of our generation, because they're able to just like have different teams do different things, so everybody kind of has their own Power Rangers team, and anybody who likes Doctor Who, everybody has their favorite Doctor, and you can do the same things, or even not do the same, but you can tell different stories in the same sort of universe with different teams. And one of the things with Cosmic Fury that I would say Ninja Storm, they kind of put everybody for all the teams from different dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic Fury, especially because of Once and Always a Ranger, they put all of the teams on one Earth. So like all of the Ranger teams exist together. And I like that for the synergy.
Yeah.
And especially also I watched this one more so because this is apparently the last version of this Power Rangers we're getting, because they aren't licensing the footage from Toei anymore. So they're going completely original. Like even this one, the Megazord stuff, like older stuff is still licensed from Toei, but none of the footage was licensed from Toei in the any of the Sentai series. Like the costumes were new, made up for this one. And if this is the way they're going to go, and I think they're going to take it in a totally different direction because I think whatever comes next is going to be like a total reboot from the beginning, not connected to anything. So if this was the last sort of series based on kind of what we were in high when the original Power Rangers came out, so it's hard to say what we grew up with.
Yeah,
but if this is like the last sort of series that is a continuation of what we know, it was a fitting way to go, in my opinion.
Cool, kind of like a good farewell tour, if you will. Nice. Yeah, man, that sounds interesting. Man, if I have time in my docket of schedules, like, that would be fairly interesting to like kind of peep that. Awesome, man. So Power Rangers and Blue Beetle. Let's take it to the picks for this week, brother.
All right.
So superheroes and all that. Let's take it into the holiday time, man. We just got done with Thanksgiving. Let's get our holiday entertainment popping off, man. My first pick for this week, brother. I don't know if you caught Violent Night last year with David Harbour. Yes. That kind of brought some some mischief into the season. I think they're continuing that on now, man. We got Joel Kinnaman and Scott Mescudi in Silent Night.
Hey,
let's check this out.
Shots fired. All units, please respond.
I mean, this is directed by John Woo as well. break. This is clearly the Red Band trailer.
Silent Night, taking it to it. Violent Night last year was pretty damn good. Why not continue that theme? Just like Die Hard really is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
Silent Night, what do you think, Eldon?
I'm all here for it. I love it. I'm glad to see Joel Kinnaman. I feel like his career took a dip after that RoboCop reboot.
It did. I feel so too.
Yeah. So I'm glad
that ain't on him though, man.
They shouldn't have done in the first place. So he did the best he could in that. That wasn't on him. But I think I like seeing this. It's John Woo, and when's the last time John Woo made an American movie? But I'll say this though, this is my opinion. You talk about Violent Night last year. I feel as though because of the success of the John Wick series, we've had a renaissance in action movies. Like we see more and more of them coming out like to this grand stage. A lot of times you didn't have, especially the bloody action movies.
Yeah.
But also this reminds me, just from the story synopsis I can get from the trailer, it reminds me of Death Wish, like the old Charles Bronson movies.
Yeah, that's right. Which is cool, man. And those are those are kind of classics. I know, a lot of people are, man, it's too violent, too bloody. Man, there's time for all of that stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
I
not?
love the counter programming as well.
Yeah. So I'm feeling this one. That's the first time I saw the trailer. I've heard about it coming.
Mhm.
I've been holding off. I was thinking we'd do like a trailer reaction at some point. Never came across because we try to get as many as in.
Right.
But so that being the first time, I'm psyched for that one. It looks pretty cool. I like the idea, and I can understand. Both you and I are fathers. We're parents.
Right.
Shit, you kill my child.
Too.
I just may have to. I more than likely would do the same thing. I know it ain't right, but I'm gonna get my payback. And
exactly.
I can understand.
Exactly.
So Silent Night, y'all, dropping this week, getting you into that holiday spirit. Because again, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and why not add another Christmas movie to that mix with Silent Night? You ready for another holiday film? This one features my man Eddie Murphy, brother.
Okay.
Over on Prime Video. It's called Candy Cane Lane. Ready?
Okay.
Let's go.
Everybody listen. This is important. I'm going to show you guys something. And when I show you what I'm going to show you, don't freak out. I can explain.
It's magic. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
High stakes as neighbors compete for best decorated house on the block.
I think this is the house to beat.
Wow. What's your Christmas wish?
I just want to win this thing. I'll take it.
Signature, please. Ignore all the fine print. It's like you're signing your life away. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh, it will be.
Rise and shine, naughty boy.
What the hell is all of this? Something's happening. Good morning, sir. Are you real?
We all were, until we fell into that elf sick trap.
You made your wish. You're in it now. I didn't sign on for this.
You literally signed on for this.
You gotta read the fine print, man. The terms of service are brutal.
Say goodbye to your dad.
Why are y'all just like Prince?
We're not gonna let her turn your dad into one of those weird Happy Meal toys. No offense, I'm sorry.
None taken.
A little taken.
We are the Carvers. We gotta catch an elf.
You messed with the wrong family.
We should split up.
What do you mean we should split up? Have you never watched a horror film? If you split up, somebody dies. Have you ever died?
Oh?
It is not fun.
That's true. I'd never died, but Mom knows. I didn't know you died before. Let's go find these rings. Is that who I think it is?
Oh my God, Black Santa! I knew Santa was black, man.
Okay.
All right. Candy Cane Lane, brother.
This is not what I was expecting when I've heard about this movie coming out. And I don't know if I saw like a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
I assumed it was, the standard fare of the whole Christmas decoration thing, going against your neighbors, hijinks ensue. That's what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing this, I'm like, oh, they definitely raised the stakes in this.
There's a little bit of what you're expecting, because I'll let everybody know I've screened the film already, because I will hopefully have some interviews recorded by the end of this week to go along with the release. I booked a few, so I screened it like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it has what you already think in there,
right?
A little bit of that, where everybody competes for best house and stuff. There's a lot of that, and then it goes on a weird mystical route with all of that.
I see. Yeah.
It's standard Eddie Fare. Tracy Ellis Ross shines in it. I want to say who Black Santa is, because I thought they did reveal it, but because they didn't, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil
it. But somebody that you admire from the past in other shows and films. But overall, it was a cool family film. It's a cool family film.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like it. Doesn't look like you can go wrong with this one based on the trailer.
Yeah, and Reginald Hudlin, who's written many comic books, Black Panther to be exact, and
House Party.
I think he wrote House Party. He's the director on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty standard Eddie Fare with Tracy Ellis Ross, man. Good stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So those are the first two picks out the gate, Silent Night and Candy Cane Lane. But getting my top pick, man, didn't screen this one. I wish I would have. And I didn't screen Silent Night either. So unfortunately didn't get to screen any of these, but this is why this is getting my pick for the top one out the gate. I'm about that kaiju, man. And I know you about that kaiju stuff.
Yes.
Top pick this week, man. Godzilla -1. Here we go.
Righty.
Didn't know it's coming out already this fast.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, man.
こりゃなんだって言うんだ。我々しかこの国の未来を切り開くことはできないんです。
あの怪物の生態は未知のことが多すぎて。あいつの未来を守ってやりたい。
messed up now.
Right?
Godzilla. -1.
There you go. Atomic breath time. All right. There you go. In theater this week.
No matter how many times I see that and see different versions, it looks amazing. I am excited for seeing this movie for many different reasons. Outside of the fact that it probably looks like the most realistic Godzilla we've ever seen before on film. I mean, from Japan.
Yeah.
Like, we know we have the American ones here, and they're American movies, you know.
Yeah, you want to see what they think about their character, you know.
Exactly. And seeing this is a pretty much a retelling of that first encounter with Godzilla. The original Godzilla, you know, Godzilla is very much an allegory for, you know, the atomic bomb being dropped and all of that. I'm interested in seeing how heavy that's leaned on in this new movie because of modern storytelling and modern special effects.
Yeah.
And I feel as though, at least based on the trailer, it's a lot more serious than you would think from a Godzilla movie. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how much of that is actually incorporated into the movie's premise and the drama of the movie as well.
Yeah, I'd like for them to do that. Although, you know, sometimes you want it to be escapist.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, kind of feel that, right? Like it'd be cool to finally see that integrated into the lore.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard, you know, for many generations out there, you know. So but yeah, man, kaiju time. I'm ready to get it in on that. So those are the picks, bro. Silent Night, Candy Cane Lane, and Godzilla -1. Y'all check it out. Some great entertainment. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming out in the past few weeks. More to follow. There's a lot of stuff I screened recently that I know people are going to want to check out, and I'll talk more when I can talk on it. And hopefully I'll have my review and those interviews too with Candy Cane Lane dropping. Other than that, Webster Style and I have a big event that we'll be covering this weekend as of this recording. It'll be Exotica DC, so stay tuned for those upcoming interviews with all the amazing talent that you find there. And as of right now, I think both of us have got up all of our New Jersey content that happened like about a month ago. I've been slowly rolling it out and getting everything out there. But we'll have more on the way to come for y'all. So stay tuned for that and more interviews. Again, we're stacking it up, but also trying to slow down a little bit, man. Spending time with the family. And then we're gonna hit it hard in 2024 because I know we can't stop. It's what we love. You know, hopefully Webster Style and I can bring it to you, man. Anything else you want to add? Sartorial and Geek, anything dropping this week specifically before we get to New Jersey? I mean, DC?
Audio podcast and the video form is up on YouTube, all podcast platforms, letsto.com. So in addition to talking about Blue Beetle, talking about Half-Life as a download, and I don't know when this is going up, but if it's going up for the next 24 hours, it's 99 cents on Steam, celebrating the 25th anniversary. I had it for free. Now it's 99 cents. So get that just because, as well as my interviews with Foxy, Nurse J, Becky, Onyx, Misty Stone, and I'm missing one other that's in this episode of the podcast. So all of those are there in addition to my fragrance of the week, Blue Cedar and Cypress, which is a fragrance I love wearing in the fall. So that's what's dropping right now. Other than that, a lot of things are still in the works, so I'm not saying anything yet because it may not be out this week.
No worries. But look for all of that. Show love to my boy, man, and follow, do all the things. And then we didn't drop a kayfabe in like 2 weeks, I think, because we've been just insanity. And I know my schedule's been insane. So I pop my apologies to both Webster Style and Sean as well. There's been so many things, and as of this past weekend, we just had Survivor Series and a lot of big things popping off with that one. So I know there's going to be a lot of talk, and I may have an opposing opinion on that one. And I don't know if we just let in the cancer over at WWE. So, you know, more to follow on that. I think we'll have all of our opinions and vibes on the next Kayfabe baby. So stay tuned for that, y'all, with me, Sean, and Webster Style on that. But other than that, again, more stuff coming this week, man. Stay tuned. You know, we just drop stuff, and I stay busy. But we're also gonna pull it back a little bit because it is the holiday season. Because we gotta spend time with the number ones, and that's our family and friends. Make sure y'all do that as well. There you go. Eldon, Webster Style, your boy Kuya P. Follow me at the Legend Kuya P on all things. All of our handles are in the links below, y'all. Go do that. Go enjoy yourself. Go enjoy family. We out.